Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I am going to be participating in the Colouring 2024 Year in Review tag. This was created by the lovely Karen over at My Colourful Country Life. She left it open as an open tag, and I think everyone else who has done this video has also left it as an open tag. So if you would like to participate in this, the questions are on Karen's channel. I will link her channel and the video below so you can go over there and grab them for yourself, and consider this as my tag of you for you to complete it if you want to. I'd love to see it, so tag me as well if you do make this video. I decided to use my colouring journal as I have a few pages left that I've just been using for notes and whatnot for my next journal planning, to go over all the questions for my Colouring Year in Review 2024. So I'm going to get straight into it because there's quite a few questions, quite a lot of things to go over, starting with my top 10 favourite pages from this year. This is hard to whittle it down. I mean, could have picked 20, but the point of picking 10 is to really focus down. And these were the 10 that stood out to me the most, that when I was flipping back through my completed pages, I was like, yes, I love that one and that one and that one. So it did come together quite quickly and easily. So I'll pop this to the side and go through the list with you. So here is the first book of my favourites, Mythographic Cosmic Spirit. I decided to present these to you in order that I coloured them, rather than in a specific ranked order. So this isn't number 1 or number 10. They're all my favourites. I couldn't necessarily pick an absolute favourite, although I could probably pick the top one, but ordering the rest would be too hard for me. My favourite was this page, The Hermit. Absolutely love how this turned out, and looking back at it makes me smile, makes me so proud, and makes me really want to colour in this book again, because I think this was the last page I coloured in it. I've got a few whips in here. You can see one of them behind here, the Leo page. I based with alcohol markers, never shaded it. But I just love how this turned out. I based it with alcohol markers, and I believe I shaded over the top with Polychromos pencils, and used the Antec metallic watercolour on all these wispy bits. Got some nice shine there. Used the silver Uniball Signo gel pen for the lanterns and the text here, and some purple glitter gel pen. I used the Chromatec ones for some of these dots. And I also used the Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen on the snow, which I doubt you'll be able to see because it's on a light colour, but it's a very nice subtle shimmer in real life. Really enjoy this, and purple's my favourite colour, so I tend to enjoy the purple pages I create. Don't often colour with purple. I'm a bit disappointed by a lot of the purple ranges of pencils, but this is a firm favourite for me. That's Mythographic Cosmic Spirit by Fabiana Attanasio. Then another mythographic. I tend to love every single mythographic page I colour. Something about the line work and the way I colour them just creates some amazing results for me. And this was one of my favourites, the Magical Fairy and Fox page of this woodland forest. This was a buddy colour with Amy from Amy Ward Art, and this version of her page featured in her top 10, which I was so glad to see because it's one of the favourite pages she's ever coloured. I went very different for my colour palette. I went for a very pastel look and a pastel orange for the fox. And I was quite scared because doing pastel orange is quite tricky to achieve, but it turned out really well. And I got to the background and I wasn't sure what to do, so I based it all with alcohol markers. And I thought this sort of olivey green would create this sort of foresty look, and yeah, it just finishes off the page perfectly. I added a bit of a like chartreusey yellow colour around all of these circles to create that sort of glow effect. Amy did an amazing job at creating glow. I'm still working on it. I put one of the iridescent Antec metallic watercolours on her wings. It's got this sort of pinky green shift to it. Works absolutely beautifully on this page. I think I used Polychromos and the Brut Fino Macarons for all these pastel tones, and a bit of glitter gel pen on the detailing of these floral lantern things. Yeah, it just makes me smile every time I look back at this. And I do love the other page I coloured in this, which is the monochromatic page I did. I just think it's very striking and has me inspired to do more monochromatic pages in this book. So that is Mythographic Fairy Wonderland by Fabiana Attanasio. Then I have Mine of Rice Dutch Asian by Rita Berman. And I realised at the end of this year I have neglected Rita as an artist. I need to focus colouring in her books more, because I absolutely love how they turn out. And this goes to show I'd forgotten about this page until I was working out my top 10 favourites. And I was looking back at previous months, and I think for the mid-year check-in, I'd put a star next to the 2 favourite pages from each month. And this was one of those, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I absolutely loved this page. Turned out exactly as I had envisioned it. I loved the colour palette. I added lots of glitter gel pen in the water here, so it's nice and shiny. I added some glitter accents to the flowers at the top. And I just really enjoyed colouring this page. I used the Black Widow pencils, and I've got the colours saved here, so I'm going to make it a goal to colour this page this year using a similar colour palette. May introduce some other colours as we've got some food items down here, but keep sort of at least the flowers and the blue of the background the same, and keeping this sort of pinky reddy colour as an accent throughout. I think will look really, really nice. But that was another one of my favourites from this year, from Mine of Rice Dutch Asian by Rita Berman. Then I have a double page spread in the Polar Bears Adventure Cruise book by Yuki Shiratori. And the page is this one. I called this the Spring Forest Picnic page, and I just had an absolute blast colouring this. I believe this was a buddy colour with Geordie Colours, and we were both like, I love this page, but I'm intimidated. Let's colour it together, and love how both of them turned out. I used Polychromos and Prismacolors on this page. Don't often mix my pencil sets. The only time I tend to is with the Brut Fino Macarons. If I want some pastel tones, I'll throw them in. But in terms of like full pencil sets, I don't tend to mix them, but I like how Polychromos work in this book, and that's what I've used in pretty much all the Tokimeku series of books. But I wanted some more muted colours, which you get in the Prismacolors with this blue and the sort of sagey greens. And oh my gosh, I haven't coloured this cup. I feel like I must have noticed that last time I showed this in the Completed Pages or my favourites from the mid-year review. I need to colour that cup. It just needs to be a pink, and I think I know what pencils I used for that from my Polychromos. But yeah, I really love the colour scheme of this. I love how bright and springy it is and pastel. Another one of my favourites from 2024. That is the Polar Bears Adventure Cruise by Yuki Shiratori. Then I have Lulu Mayo's A Million Magical Creatures. And I absolutely love how this page turned out. The Fairy Mushroom House. This was a buddy colour with Yolanda from Colouring Biker Mama. And I just loved the colour palette of this. I can't remember if I found one in a colour cube. Probably did, or online. But I love blue, purple, pink together. It's one of my favourite colour combos, so absolutely loved how this turned out. I used, what did I use? I think Polychromos and Black Widows, I want to say, maybe. Yeah, I think this colour is from Black Widows. Not sure though. I've got the colours here, but I haven't actually written down what pencils I used, so how is that meant to help when I'm colouring this page? Because I do like to make them match sometimes, but that's fine. I know I definitely used some Polychromos. This blue is Polychromos, the purple is, I think this pinky colour might have been Black Widows, or it could have been all Polychromos. We'll see. But I added lots of silver gel pen at the top here and glitter gel pen on the little stars and lights up there. This is the first time I'd done a black acrylic paint background, and I love how it makes the page pop. So that is another one of my favourites of the year from A Million Magical Creatures by Lulu Mayo. Then I have Spirit Animals by Hannah Carlson. This was the first year I had this book and coloured in it, and this was one of my favourite pages I coloured, this Candy Chinchilla page, as I called it. I decided I want to do all of these as like a double page spread, keeping the colours cohesive across the 2 pages. And I loved this. I think it took me 2 months to colour. I was really brave and bold and did the pastel background first. Don't often use pastels because they're messy and annoying, but I love how this turned out. I found a reference photo of this sort of rainbow gradient, and I think it was the perfect background for this. And then I picked out some matching colours in my pencils. I think I used Prismas and Brut Funa Macarons to get these pastel tones. Coloured in these were really fun, and then brought across the same colours on the sweets over on the lady. I think the last thing I coloured was the chinchillas themselves, and then spent a long time whiting out all the lines for her hair because I wanted her to have white hair. I thought it would look really striking against everything else. And it sort of, in a way, has a balance with the fact that she's got white hair. It's a white jar. Not that you can really see the white, but I whited the outlines of the jar. So that was another one of my favourites of the year. I really enjoyed this, from Spirit Animals by Hannah Carlson. Then I have Mythographic Mythical Beasts by Veronika Kalinska. This was a new release in 2024, and I think I got it on the day of release or soon after. I think I pre-ordered it. I think I got it on day of release, and I absolutely loved this book. And this is the first page I coloured in it. This Pegasus page was meant to be a buddy colour with Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. She started hers but still hasn't finished it. I really would love to see her finish it. I had an absolute blast colouring this. I used the Ohuhu alcohol markers for the clouds. I didn't shade over the top with pencils because I enjoyed the blend of colours that I got with the clouds. And then I wanted to make the Pegasus itself really pop off the page, so I made it white with gold accents and then kept that similar colours for the leaves and the pillars, keeping that white and gold. And then I went to town with the metallic watercolours. I used the Gansai Tambi, Kurotaki, Starry colours for all of the light rays coming down. And then at the end I just went crazy and started flicking the paint on the paintbrush, so it's a bit messy around the edges. I got a little bit on the next page, but that is okay. And I spent ages going over all the clouds with a white paint pen, but it created a really effective look. And I think this, if I had to pick one page that was my favourite, I think it would have to be this one. It kind of amazes me looking at it that I actually created something like this, and just reminds me how much I love mythographic books, because I always love how the pages turn out. So that is Mythographic Mythical Beasts by Veronika Kalinska. Then I have Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Agusa. This was not a new artist to me this year, but a new coloured artist to me this year. I'd had her books, this one and the Kingdom of Curious Creatures, since sort of 2023. And they just laid on the shelf untouched until this year, when I really had a lot of fun colouring in them. And this was the first page I ever coloured, and I just love it. I love the colour scheme. I loved the process. I used polychromos for the entire page, including the background. The background took a long time, but I loved the look. I tried going for this bokeh look, and I think this is the first time I've ever done sort of a bokeh kind of effect, and I've actually enjoyed how it looks, because often I'll do it and it just looks weird. It's just a bunch of circles on a page, but this, I really took my time with blending, used soft pressure, layered it up. Lots of layers on this page, and really enjoyed using the colours. I love how bright the oranges and lemons are. The chicken looks awesome. I just love the whole page. It makes me smile looking back at it, and it makes me really proud looking back at it. And honestly, I could have picked any of the pages that I coloured in this book this year. I finished this one. I started this last year, but I finished it. I was tempted to pick this as a favourite, but something about this, I just prefer how I've coloured it over this. This would be a favourite just because it's a double page spread and I spent so long on it. But I do absolutely love that one. I loved doing this autumn teepee page. That was really fun. And this one was really simple, but I think is really effective, the colour palette I chose. And this is my little cat Lexi. Super adorable. So that is Symphony of Cute Animals by Kaneko Agusa. Looking forward to colour more pages in this book this year. Can't wait for our next book. Then I have Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. And this one is my favourite. I really love the colour palette of it. It's a very different colour palette for me. I found one from the Colour Cubes and it really inspired me. I loved this sort of reddy browny colour that I used in the Prismacolors. Something that I definitely want to use again for the roof tiles. I think that looks really nice. I enjoyed every part of this page. It was really fun sort of mapping out the colours. And then it was also fun taking those colours across and applying them to this page. I didn't take all of the colours from this page, but kept the main ones that I liked, the red, the sort of creamy colour, and the green for the leaves. And I just think this looks really nice next to the opposite page. This was a buddy colour. I want to double check who it was, I don't want to get it wrong. This was a buddy colour with Weaver Shelley on Instagram. Really enjoyed colouring this with her. Thank you so much for inspiring me to get back into this book. I'd done one page previously from the year before, and now it's great to have 3 pages done in this book. I want to get some more done this year. That is Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. Then the latest addition to my favourite pages of the year is from Mythomorphia. I'm not sure if this is recency bias, because it was literally one of the last pages I coloured of the year, but it was this gnome mushroom forest. Really enjoyed colouring this. This was a buddy colour with Elizabeth. She's on Instagram. And I based it all with Tombows and Crayola Super Tips, shaded over the top with Artex pencils, which I really started to enjoy using. And the background was done with Inktense, and I think it was the perfect finishing touch for this page. But I spent quite a lot of time on this. And often when you spend a long time on a page, you really like it. But for me, I think it's the colours that I love about this page. I didn't use a colour palette, I just came up with them myself, swatched out a few markers and was like, I like how these go together. I wanted to keep it quite autumnal colour palette. I wanted the mushrooms to match with the gnomes. And yeah, just think it works really well. Absolutely love that page. From Kirby Rosanna's Mythomorphia. So those were all the 10 of my favourite pages from 2024. We'll come back to my questions here. And question 2, which page received the most likes on Instagram? Did this differ from my favourites? And yes, it did differ. I will grab Lunar Therapy with the watermelon floaty page. Here it is. Lunar Therapy by Diane Dufour. And this page received the most likes on Instagram. I do love it, but I think because it's simple, it didn't even touch my top favourites. But I think from an Instagram perspective, the limited colour palette, the sort of bright bold colours, does make it quite eye-catching. I do love this page, it was a lot of fun to colour. Also bear in mind that I haven't really been posting on Instagram very much since July. So this was one of the last posts I did. This was from June time. So the favourite may have been more closely aligned with mine if I'd continued posting for the second half of the year. But I will get into that later with one of my questions. That is Lunar Therapy by Diane Dufour. Moving back, question 3. Did you set any goals at the beginning of the year and did I meet them? I didn't set any goals at the beginning of the year, but when I did the mid-year colouring review, I think this was at the start of July, I did go through and set a couple of goals for the rest of 2024, so I will go off those. So the first goal was to colour in more untouched books. I wanted to finish the year with less than 25% untouched. I finished with 31.8% untouched, which is still good. It's less than a third of my books are untouched. I've worked in over 2/3 of my collection, so that is a great achievement. And I definitely was focusing on untouched books, but that is a goal that is going to continue into 2025, and you will see that later. I wanted to upload at least one video a week, and given the total number of videos I put out for the second half of the year, I did achieve that, but I didn't do one per week or two per week. It would be 1 week I'd upload every day, then I'd go a couple of weeks without uploading, so the average works out that it was around one or two a week. So that is good. I want to be a little bit more consistent and not necessarily upload every day and then leave you hanging for a week or two. I want to spread it out. I just get excited when I film a video, I want to upload it. But that is something that I'm going to continue to work on for 2024. And then my third colouring goal was to complete the Lost Paradise planet in Alien Worlds. Completely failed that. I managed to get the landscape page done, which I will be showing you later, and nothing else from that planet. So I had the one with the spaceship flying through the asteroid belt, haven't done that. And then there's 4 creature single pages that I haven't even started yet, but the landscape took me a long time, so I'm glad I got that done before the end of the year. But I'd like to work in more of Alien Worlds. I just had a lot of buddy colours at the end of 2024, so I was prioritising those over other personal projects. Question 4. How many different books did I colour in? So at the start of the year, I started in my journal, a books coloured in 2024, and I tallied up how many I did. I coloured so many that I had to go on to an extra page that I washi taped into my book. And according to this, I coloured in 107 different books this year, which is amazing. And 65 of them had more than one page coloured, so at least 2 pages. So that's good that not only was I touching a lot of different books, but I was going back and doing multiple pages or a double page spread or something like that. So really happy about that. Question 5. How many pages did I colour this year, and how many do I average a month? I coloured a total of 311 pages coloured. That was 87 of those were colour by numbers. I do like to keep track of that, and I'm focusing on tracking that separately in the new year for 2025. And 7 double page spreads. That is an average of around 25 a month. And I will go to this spread where you can see that quite a few months I did 20, 19, 18, 22. I had 1 month, October, when I did my Lonely Pumpkin project, where I coloured 44 pages. That was because I did 14 pages from that book. So, but even taking that away, that's 30 pages. That's still an amazing large amount. But yeah, an average of 25, pretty good. Don't really care about how many pages I colour a month. As long as I have fun and enjoy the colouring process, doesn't matter too much to me. Number 6. How many buddy colours, hashtags or prompts did I participate in 2024? So I tracked this as well with my buddy colours, and I separated it out into individual and group buddy colours. I did 134 buddy colours, with 25 being group buddy colours. So I am quite impressed with that total. If we go back to how many pages I coloured in total with 311, that's about half of my pages that I coloured were buddy colours. So I do enjoy doing them. I do want to try and limit them a little bit more this year and make them a little bit more focused on my randomised video. So at the start of or the end of the previous month, I put out a randomizer video, and I want to focus on those randomised books. So ask my buddies to pick from one of those and try and incorporate the two to make it fair, because I hate saying no to people, but I love doing buddy colours. So 134 buddy colours is amazing. Question 7. How many whips do I have at the end of the year? I did have a spread at the start of my journal with WIPs to complete from 2023/2022. There were 46 here. I only completed 7 of them, so it wasn't really something I was focusing on. It's going to be a little bit more of a focus for 2025. So I had 38 from the previous year, 87 WIPs in total, because I have a new spread in my new colouring journal where I have listed all of my WIPs. 49 of those are from this year, from 2024 that I created. So I do want to focus on my WIPs. I don't mind having WIPs and it doesn't bother me, but there's definitely pages that I should just get them done. There's not much to do, just get them done. Question 8. How many untouched books do you still have at the end of the year? So I kind of touched on this earlier. 31.08% of my collection is untouched, which is 60 colouring books. So I've got a goal in my head at the moment to try and touch 5 books per month. 5 times 12 is 60. So that would mean I've coloured, not necessarily in the 60 untouched books from the end of the year, because I will be getting more colouring in those, but it would mean that I have sort of eliminated those 60 and it's just new ones added to that. Number 9. Did I finish any colouring books? Nope, not even close. Wasn't a goal of mine in 2024. Not bothered by that. Question 10. How many new books did I add to my collection this year? Now this is a big number. 114 new books. That's a lot of books. And because that's a lot of books, I now feel like my collection is well-rounded. I've got the collections of artists that I really want to have. There's only a couple of Maria Trolls and a couple of Hannah Carsons that I still want to add to my collection, but in terms of other artists, it's going to be focusing on the new releases that I will be getting in 2025. Obviously, if I see old books that strike my fancy, I will get those. But 114, I am happy with my collection. I'm going to try and focus on new books this year. Number 11, what was my favourite must-have release from 2024? I couldn't pick just one, so I picked 3. And I will show you those books now. So, probably my top favourite release of 2024 was Sargon by Maria Troll. I put out a very detailed flip through of this where I told you the fairy tale story of each of the fairy tales in this book, and I absolutely love this book. And I'm going to give you an exclusive here. So if you're watching at this point, you will find out that I am going to be starting memberships on my channel, and this book will be a full book colour along for my members, where I will aim to get a double page done a month. If I have time for more, brilliant. If not, that's okay. I don't want to overcommit to one a week or something like that, but I think doing a double page a month is achievable for me, and I'm really looking forward to getting that started. I don't want to launch the memberships yet until I have the first video ready, so you have something to look for when it starts, and I will be doing a full video talking about that when it's launched. But be on the looks for that. I'm quite looking forward to it. But I just think this book is absolutely adorable. I love the variety of pages. Like, we've got some close-up portraits, some landscape scenery, animals, mythical creatures, circular designs, full page designs. Quite a few of them are bordered, which I do really enjoy. And then at the back here, I have printed out my own index, and this will be helpful when doing my full book colour along. I can cross off or highlight or colour in these boxes each time I do one, and I've got the translated title in English, so I don't have to keep going back and translating these as it is in Swedish, as that's the only edition out at the moment, but I definitely recommend it. That index is available on my Ko-fi store. I will link that in the description. That is Sargon by Maria Troll. And then I have Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liedhol Oberg. I think this will feature in quite a few colourists' top releases of the year because this was such an anticipated book. This isn't a brand new book. It used to be called Saga Roxana, but that was out of print for quite a few years, and a lot of us joined the colouring community seeing this book and not being able to purchase it from anywhere, which was disappointing until Colour with Claire. She did a petition and a lot of us signed it, and it caught the attention of a publisher who contacted Emily, and now we have this book reprinted on the most amazing thick quality paper I've ever experienced from a book. And I have been really enjoying colouring in this. I've done 2 pages so far, and I am working on finishing a third at the moment. You will see that coming up. Here it is, that's my whip, the foxes. I just think there's another page I've done from December. I just think this book is adorable and quite unique in its art style, like with the thick bold lines, but it makes for really fun colouring. You can add a lot of metallic details, loads of different colour palettes that you can use. I think it makes for a great colouring book, and as a colouring book has a lot of pages. Even though it's beautiful thick paper, I haven't skimped out on the number of illustrations. I think there's over 100, like 101 or something like that. But there we go. That is Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liedl-Oberg. Then my third favourite of the year, I had to pick a mythographic, and I think my favourite release from this year was Wild Summer. I was umming and ahhing because I also love Mythical Beasts and I also really love Fairy Wonderland, which were released this year. I think this one just edged it out for me. I love every single page, and I would colour every single page in this book. And for me, if that's the case, it's a favourite. Because although I do love the other two, there's a couple pages in there where I'm like, I don't know how I'd colour that. I've got this as a whip. We'll finish it one day, I promise. I have coloured a couple of pages in here. I just think it's so creative. Even though it's called Wild Summer, you don't have to colour in summer. It can be coloured any time of year. This was the first page I coloured, the Watermelon Panda. Loved that one. And I've done this one as well, very different colour palette. Used a colour cube for that one. I love this page. It's probably my favourite from the book, with these butterflies' wings as the elephant's ears. I think that's so creative and beautiful. I really need to finish that honey bee page so I can start a new one in here. I'm trying to do that where I finish a whip before starting a new page in a book, just to kind of reduce the whips and not leave them hanging for ages. Struggling to fit through at the end here. Love that pig one. There we go. So those were my top 3 releases from 2024. That's Mythographic Wild Summer by Joseph Cattleban. Okay, coming back to my journal with question number 12. Which colouring supplies did I use the most this year, and are there any new favourites? So I'd say polychromos are still my most used supply. They're the ones I reach for the most. I'm the most comfortable with colouring with them. I also use Prismas quite often, to be fair. And I use my Ohuhu alcohol markers a lot, especially now I have the 216 brush marker alcohol Ohuhus. They have such a great variety of colours, perfect for basing, and I've been doing some more shading and stuff with them in some of my books. That's been really fun. And Artex are actually becoming a new favourite for me. I think I might even prefer them to Prismacolors. I find them easier to work with for me personally and my colouring style. Often Prismas are too waxy and don't necessarily create the finish I enjoy. I do love them, and they are amazing quality pencil, but just for my colouring style, I think I prefer Artex a little bit more. I prefer the colour range as well. I think it's a really well curated set of colours. So those are my favourite supplies from the year. Number 13, which colouring book did I work in the most this year? So I separated this into two categories, because if we go by the book that I've coloured the most in, the top three are all colour by numbers because they're quick, easy colours that I do when I'm not feeling 100%, not feeling motivated to colour a full page. So I've got 3 of those, and then 3 of, I say normal colouring books, non-colour by number books. So let's grab those and have a look at all the pages I coloured from this year. So the book that I've coloured the absolute most pages in by far is Le Grand Classique Tome 11. I say by far, this was 28, I think number 2's 25, so not by far. I like doing these double page spreads, I find them so much fun. I've done the Aristocats here. This was the most recent page I did at the start of December. Lilo and Stitch with Nani there. I'm not going to give a full flip through because there's nothing to see really with them not being coloured in. I did this fairy, no idea what her name is, but I did her. Did Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. Ariel's Sisters, that was quite a fun one. Oh, I think this is my favourite from the whole book, the Bambi double page spread that goes vertically. I just love the colours of this page. It took a long time, a lot of little different details, especially with these leaves down here, but it creates a very effective result. Did this double page spread, The Rescuers, Pua and Hey Hey. We did Lewis from Princess and the Frog. That was one of the first pages I did. This was the first page I did. Sorcerer and Mickey, really cute. I've got a whip that I'm working on at the moment. That's for Megan's Disney Film of the Month, WALL-E. I've got the Ariel double page. That took a long time. The background details, a long time. I got this one. This is from Emperor's New Groove. I think it's Patcha's wife. I've only seen the film once the whole way through. Love this one, the Lion King double page spread. I have Rafiki. That was quite a satisfying one to colour with all the wavy clouds in the background. The Muses from Hercules. This I coloured with my marker running out. It kind of works for a starry night sky with the blotches, but it was one of those pages that I would colour a tiny section and then the pen would start to skip. So I'd leave it for a minute and then I'd come back and I could colour a little bit more. This took a long time just for the background. Then I have Cinderella. This was after I got a new set of Crayola Super Tips. And I have Baloo and Mowgli. And those are all the pages I have done. I have a tracker at the back that is looking quite full now. And I just noticed or realised or been shown that in some of the newer colour by numbers they include a tracker on this inside flap. So I've been crossing them off there as well. There's a big section in the middle here and the 50s and 60s that I just haven't touched. WALL-E is in there, so that will be done soon. But I really like colouring a double page in this each month. And then when I'm not in the mood to colour a full page, but I still want to colour, I pick this book out. So that is Le Grand Classiques, Tome 11. Then I have Disney Vitro. This I find really fun and even more relaxing because they're very angular shapes to colour. So I've done this one of Rapunzel, Mulan, Ariel. I think this was the first one I coloured in this book actually. And the way I like to colour these is, you see here, you can roughly see like there's Flounder's face there. I colour that in with my markers and then I use a fine liner and go over the lines just to sharpen them up a bit. And I think it makes it look more bold and distinct. I prefer the look of it. 3 aliens. I've done Bing Bong and Joy. Loved colouring both of these, the bright colours of them. I did Pocahontas and Ariel. Yeah, I did Pocahontas first, and I was like, let's do Ariel next to her. Oh, and I've got Cinderella and Lucifer. This is the only one I did without doing the outlines, and I just don't prefer it as much, but I like having it as a reference to look back at, to be like, okay, this is how it looks without and with the lineless style. We have Prince John from Robin Hood. Love the background colours of that one. Oh, I have my very tanned Peter Pan. Was a bit frustrated at that. I made his skin too dark, but that's okay. This is one of my favourites, the turning red one. Just love the colours of it. Got Sully, Minnie Mouse. It is nice flicking through and having a lot of pages done. Louisa and Mirabel from Encanto. This was so fiddly, her dress, but looks great all finished now. Thumper and Bambi as an adult. Vanellope, another one of my favourites. I love all the bright colours. If I'm colouring a colour by number, I like the bright colours. And then I have young Elsa and Anna, and I think that's the last one I've done. Yeah. So I've done 25 pages in this book. Oh, this one doesn't have a tracker at the back here, but I like to add my own anyway. So still plenty to do. I was tempted to make one of these a project book for 2025, but I thought there's no point of that. I colour in them a lot anyway. I don't need to make them a focus. Better making a non-colour by number book a focus for the year. So that is the Vitro colour by number. Then I have Disney Nature colour by number. I haven't done as many in here. Let me see how many. I've done 18. But I have done a nice chunk. So I've got Alice here. I've done Cinderella and Snow White. Ariel. Love the colours of that one, the fish, that's fun. A very bright looking Piglet. I chose the wrong colours, but that's okay. Thomas O'Malley and Duchess. The Cheshire Cat. This was a very different colour palette, but was quite effective, all finished. Pegasus from Hercules. I love the softness of this one with no black outlines. It's very unusual for me to not do black outlines, as that is my favourite part. Even when they aren't black, I'll make them black. I've got Minnie and Donald here. These were fun. 2 Dalmatians. Pocahontas. The skin will be a darker version of their skin tone, but I like to do them all black, just to make them really pop. And I like using my paint pens for that. Car. Is it Car? Yes, Car from Jungle Book. Isabella. That was a very detailed dress there. Lady. She looks so cute. Goofy. I think this is one of the last pages I did, the most recent ones. These 3 otters from, I believe, Finding Dory. Super, super cute. And do I have any others? No, that's it. And when I go through these thumbnails, I tick them when I've finished them, so I'm just checking I haven't missed showing you any. Oh yes, one. I've missed one. I have missed this one of Antonio from Encanto. Here we go. Here he is with his snake. Love the bright bold colours of that one too. So that is Disney Nature. Then moving to my most coloured non-colour by number books, I of course have Lonely Pumpkin Had a Great Fall. In October I did a short series where I coloured a page every 2 or 3 days. I did 13 days of it. I have a tracker at the front here, but I coloured 15 pages in total because I did 13 days, bonus day at the end, and then I did one the month before as like a example. I used Ohuhu alcohol markers in here. This was before I got the 216 set, so I was working with my old set, which was a brush and chisel nib, plus the Ohuhu pastel markers. So I did this one, the Frog Wizards, and this one, What Will Come of This. This one, T for One. New Friend, this one, where Lonely Pumpkin meets the dog Boo, as I have called him. Fishbones, very different one. I wouldn't have picked this myself, but it was requested by a couple of people, so I coloured it. Best Friends, yeah, Best Friends. Went for some colourful stars on that one. Bit of a simpler page. Bath by the Fire. Love how this one turned out. I was quite scared to colour it. There was a lot of details on it, but it turned out really well. Lost in the Woods. Super purple page. This is Bats. And Pumpkin Harvest, I believe. Yep. Walk Through the Woods. Just Through the Woods. Quite like the colour palette of that one. And then this one, Trick or Treat. And the final one, Happy Halloween, which has some glitter gel pen on the Happy Halloween. So this was great to get a bunch of pages done. There's still loads left. I think there's 93 pages in this book, yeah, with 31 from each of the Lonely Pumpkin 1, 2 and 3. So it's lovely having it. Oh, I missed one. Fallen Leaves. My dad challenged me to use as many different colours for the leaves as possible. So it is great. Oh, I missed another one. Night Flight. This is why I flick through at the end, just to double check. Should flick through from the back to start with because I do find it easier to notice all the pages more clearly. But this was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. Not sure if I'd do it again. I might. I don't know. But these are quick, easy colours. And that is my most coloured non-colour by number book. Lonely Pumpkin Had a Great Fall by Usiku. Then I have 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camellia Angel Cova. And this is with thanks to Melissa from Winter 89 Colours. At the end of 2024, she started a project for this, Project Mythical Minis, where she picks 4 pages a month. This was one of the first pages picked, the title page. And the book belongs to page. And then there are a few pages that I've already done in this book before she started the hashtag. But that works for me because it means I'm a little bit ahead. So Mermaid was one of them, and this I think was also the only page she'd coloured from the book before. I use Ohuhu alcohol markers in here and a bit of glitter gel pen for highlights. I did the Centaur. This was picked by Melissa, or randomised. It was for the Project Mythical Minis. I did Elf, another Mythical Minis one. This unicorn was the first page I coloured in it, and it turned out weird to start with. I based it with alcohol markers, it wasn't looking great, and then I shaded over the top with pencils, which I don't tend to do anymore in the Camellia books. I've kind of found my style with Ohuhu alcohol markers now. That was one I'd previously done. And then the Feathered Serpent, this was for Project Mythical Minis. And then I'd done the Basilisk beforehand. I think I did this for Cactus as a scavenger hunt prompt by Yolanda, colouring by Kamama. Yeah, I really enjoy this book, and It is a project book for me for 2025. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I'd like to be close. I'd like to get a load more pages done. That's 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camina Angel Cova. And then the third most coloured book was a tie between Erie's World Fairy Tales and Matchstick Mouse Adventure. These are because these are project books, so I tend to colour in them each month. This was a project book from the start of 2024, whereas this I introduced sort of about halfway through the year. I think I've got 6 or 7 done in each. I can check. Oh, 8. Is that? I think I might have this wrong then. I think this is my third most coloured book, and this is my fourth most. I'll show you this anyway. I've got it out. But I thought it was 6 or 7. But it turns out it's 8. This is a project book with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours, Jo from Geordie Colours, and Amy at Colouring with Amy. We've done this hockey page for the autumn season. The meerkat. Meerkats are my favourite animals, so this is fun to colour. The hot air balloons. The Paris night sky. The Colosseum. Underwater with the coral. The Northern Lights, the latest one we've done. And the Day of the Dead page. I think that's everything. So yeah, I can't believe we coloured 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. So that's 8 pages coloured in Matchstick Mouse A Big Adventure. And then World Fairy Tales. I think I only did 6 because me and Megan, Meg's Colouring Corner, we dropped off by the end of the year. So I will try and focus on showing you the ones from this year. We did this Cinderella one. This was a nice comparison because we coloured this page the year before and then did this one. I tried to match the colours. We'll keep some of the colours cohesive across the page. What else was this year? None of those. This one, we did Little Red Riding Hood arriving at the Grandmother Wolf's house. And we did Snow White and Rose Red. This has been in the works for quite a few months now. The Hansel and Gretel house. We did Thumbelina, and I still have yet to finish this house. We did the Aladdin's Lamps page. This was a lot of fun for me, experimenting with the gold. And we did this Easter egg page for Easter. Love the pastel colours I used on that. And we did this giant turnip one. And that is it. So it's nice seeing this book slowly fill up. There's a lot of pages in it. So it'll be great to continue colouring it in 2025. That's Erie's World Fairy Tales. Okay, returning to my journal. Question 14. Which page gave me the most challenge? And I've picked out a couple of books for this question. First one being R.J. Hampson's Around the World. This is a project book with Catherine from Cath Colours Pages. She's been great at colouring them each month. I have been terrible because I have found them challenging. The first challenging page was this one. I based it with alcohol markers, and as you can see from the colour on the back, it was not a nice colour. I did not like how it was looking, and I just let it sit there for ages and ages and ages. And then one day I was like, right, I'm finding a gold colour combo, and I'm just doing it. And now I really like it, so I'm glad I pushed through. The other page that caused me a lot of challenge was this one, just in the sense of picking colours. I spent a long time umming and ahhing over them, but now it's done. It looks really nice, looks cohesive, and it is done. This one was no trouble to colour at all, and I am struggling now with the Charing Cross page. And I'm still behind. She's done the Paris page, and then we're meant to move on to the next one, the Orient Express. I'm doing a bad job with my buddy. but I will try and get at least that Charing Cross page done January. It's going to be a focus for me. So those were challenging for me in RJ Hampson's Around the World. And the other page that gave me a lot of challenge was the Lost Paradise landscape page. Because just look at it, there's so many little details. I used Inktense for the whole thing, and I started with the green. I wanted it to be a really bright, vivid, crazy green, like an alien world. And then it got to all of the plants, and I just put this book aside and was like, nope, not doing it. I can't think about it right now. And it took me ages to decide on a colour palette. I ended up going for this pink, yellow, aqua colour, and I think it's really nice. And it will be nice to carry it on throughout the planet. I've got my colour combos noted down here, used Inktense. So that was the other page that gave me a lot of challenge, but again, really glad I pushed through, because this is an impressive page for me and was very close to being in my favourites for the year. That is Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosales. Okay, turning the page. Was there a book or page that surprised me with how much I enjoyed it? Yes, I am bringing back Alien Worlds. So when this book first came out, I wasn't interested in it. Aliens, space, it's not my cup of tea. They're very, very detailed. They're crazy pages. But then Candice from Happy Catastrophe here on YouTube started this as a project book. And I was getting some severe FOMO. I saw everyone colouring in it and completing their planets, and I thought it looked so much fun, and creating these cohesive colour schemes and really experimenting in this book. So I got it, joined the group, and I started with this page, the title page, and I used Inktense pencils on it, and I used only Inktense. Every other time I've used Inktense, I've shaded over the top with other pencils, but this time I just let the Inktense shine, and I love how it turned out. So this definitely surprised me with how much I loved it, and I'm glad I got this book, glad I joined the group, and glad that I challenged myself to do something I wouldn't normally, because it will be fun and exciting to have this fill up and get this planet done. This makes me want to colour it right now. So that is Alien Worlds. Okay, coming back. Question 16. How many videos did I create in 2024? I did 72 long videos and 16 shorts. I started on the 6th of March in 2024, so that averages to about 2 videos a week. So going back to a previous question where I wanted to get at least one done a week, 2 videos a week is pretty good for me. Really excited to have a full year of being on YouTube and seeing how much I grow. I've absolutely loved being on YouTube this year. And thank you so much to everyone who subscribes, who comments. Genuinely blown away by how much support I've been receiving. Really brightens my day every time. Number 17, what was my favourite video this year? That has to be my Sargon flip through. I spent, no lie, hours researching that. I want to say about 6 to 8 hours researching. I typed up notes. I printed out a script for myself to read. I messaged Maria Troll to ask her about the fairy tales that I couldn't find any details on. I loved it, and it seems like a lot of other people loved it because I've seen them sharing it on their channels, which has brought me so much joy. And it just fills me with immense pride looking back on that video. In terms of my most viewed, that would be my Must Buy Artists. That has received so many views, I cannot comprehend how many views. It's 15k views, which is amazing. And that was my Must Buy Artists video. I did really enjoy that one. It was really fun to look through my collection and be like, which of these would I buy automatically without looking at flip throughs, and really thinking about that. And then seeing other people create those videos was really fun. Question 18, did my colouring habits or routine change this year? Not necessarily my colouring habits, but routine definitely changed. I spent more time on YouTube creating videos and less time posting on Instagram. For me, it was I needed to choose one or the other. If I'm putting the time into YouTube, I don't have the time for Instagram. I just don't have the mental energy for it. And I do apologise for that. I don't tend to reply to comments. I reply to DMs all the time. really, I'd like to keep on top of that. So if you have a comment and I don't reply and you want to get a reply from me, please reach out to me in my direct messages. I will always respond to you there. But I've been really enjoying creating on YouTube and trying to find that balance between colouring and creating. It's a challenge, but it's fun. Question 19, did I learn or experiment with any new techniques this year? Yes, using only Inktense to colour a page, which I showed you in Alien Worlds with the Lost Paradise landscape and the title page. I'm really having fun using Inktense in this way and creating those bright, bold, vibrant colours. Can't wait to do even more pages with just Inktense. Question 20, who inspired my colouring this year? As you can see, I have a lot of names written down, and I'm just going to list them. I am so sorry if your name isn't on here. It's not that I don't. Obviously, I love everyone who comments, talks to me, buddy colours with me, everyone, but these are the ones that came to mind, and I could probably list another, double this list. So I got Zoe's Cozy Colouring, Elm Colours, Meg's Colouring Corner, Yolanda at Colouring Biker Mama, Lucy Colours 2024, Spare Room Studio, Happy Catastrophe, Geordie Colours, My Colourful Country Life, Lucy Just Adds Colour, Amy Ward Art, Colourful Diary 2018, Amanda Colours, Sank Colours, Kath Colours Pages, Colouring with Amy, Knick Knack Colours, Juliana Net Art, My Colourful World, Shell's Colouring Journey, Wendy's Colouring. And again, so many more. These questions are hard because you don't want to leave anyone out, but you also want to spread the love of these people. A lot of these have YouTube channels, a few of them just have Instagrams, but love every single person here. Question 21. Any special or memorable colouring moments from this year? Absolutely, starting a YouTube channel. Reaching over 3,000 in less than a year has been amazing. I cannot believe that I've got this support, and I'm so thankful for it. Being able to monetize, reaching over 1,000 subscribers in such a short space of time as well was just overwhelming. I started my YouTube and I said to my parents, I'm never going to monetize. I'm never going to reach this. It's never going to happen. They were like, who says it's not? And they were like, just do it. And I did it. And I've had so much fun doing it. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed, comments on my videos. You know who you are, my regular commenters. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. And thank you to Amy from Amy Ward Art for giving me some tips on starting a YouTube channel. You really helped me. And there's also to Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring for continuing to inspire me every day. Question 22. How did the colouring community impact my year? I think I've already explained that. You inspired me to start a YouTube channel, seeing the fun opportunities it brings and being able to connect with so many people. And it's also enabled me to make a new best friend that I have had the pleasure to meet in real life, Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. We met because I started a YouTube channel and she found me and reached out, and we just clicked instantly, and I'm so grateful for that. Question 23. What are my colouring goals or plans for the upcoming year? I've come up with 4 goals. I would like to colour a double page spread every month. I'm trying to think of which one I want to do for January. I haven't started it yet. Maybe it'll be every other month. I'm not sure, but that's a goal. I would like to get my untouched books to under 25%. In my head, I would like to have that done by the 6-month mark and then change the goal for the second half of the year. I would like to start YouTube memberships and a full book colour along with them. Really looking forward to that. That is going to be coming soon. I would like to finish the year with fewer whips than I started with. So I finished 2024 with 87 whips. I want to finish 2025 with fewer whips than that. So if I add any, I want to have removed them. That is a goal. I'm not sure if I will reach all of them, but those are the things that I've got in the back of my mind. And finally, question 24. Are there any new books or products that I'm really looking forward to in 2025? I'm looking forward to a lot of mythographics, Fantasy Forest, and Dragonspell especially. Looking forward to Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanas. I love fairy tales. I love Kirby. Put them together. I'm going to love the book, I'm telling you now. Looking forward to Dream Voyage by Melpomene Chattopadhyay. Lulu May's House of Wonder. That looks like a different style of book, and I'm very excited by it. I'll put pictures of all of these that I can find on screen. I'm looking forward to Kaneko Agusa's new book. I haven't written that there, but she doesn't have a picture of it. She doesn't have a release date for it yet, but it's coming this year, and I cannot wait for that one. And I really, really hope that Rita Berman announces a new book. I'd love a new book in her Minor Rice series. Maybe Oceania or America. Cannot wait for either of those. So there we have it. Those are all of the questions for the Colouring Year in Review 2024. It's been an amazing year for me, and I'm really looking forward to 2025 and what that brings. I've got lots of plans for the channel. I've got a whole list of videos to make. Let me know the answer to any of these questions in the comments below. I'll pick out one. I will say, what books are you looking forward to for 2025? And is there an artist you really wish would release a new book? That's the question I have for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.